Welcome to J-POP Kissa Take a Break. Picture this, a cozy table in a retro Japanese cafe, and you've just joined me here. I'm Terence, a longtime fan of J-POP and Japanese entertainment, especially since the 90s. While we sip something warm, I'll share what's been on my mind about the music, dramas, movies, and more. Let's take a break together. Hi, welcome to J-POP Kissa. This is episode 10. I am psyched that I have gotten to episode 10 because I certainly didn't know what it was like to do a podcast and not alone, and just even a few episodes. I didn't know what it was going to be like, but to actually get to this point, it feels like a milestone. So I'm really happy. And also last week, or in the last episode, I was able to talk about this experience of going to a fan meeting of Asai, who was featured on the audition show Timeless, which streams on Netflix. And after I posted it on my own Instagram and I tagged him, he was very kind to take a listen and actually responded to me. So that was something that I didn't expect at all. And first of all, if you're listening, Noah, thank you so much for your kind words. And also, I am just rooting for you. I know you'll do amazingly in Japan. And I can't wait to hear and see what you do next. And also, thanks to him, a lot of people have discovered my podcast and have taken a listen to my rambling about J-pop and obviously about him. So it's been an honor to be able to do that episode and now to do the episode 10 after that. So when I thought about what to talk about today and also what's been on my mind about music, I've definitely wanted to do a continuation of last week's episode, but also talk a little bit about, the boy bands and the groups that have been happening in J-pop recently. So the first one that I want to talk about is Timeless. And for those that haven't listened to my last episode yet and don't know who they are, Timeless was a group actually formed originally in 2011. They were originally named Sexy Zone, but they changed their name in 2024. And after some members have left over the years, they decided to do a reset and they did a new audition show to get more members. And that show again was featured on Netflix, so global reach. And they're an 8-member group, and they've really been catching everyone's attention. Like they've been in a lot of variety shows. Some of them have gone on to be in their own TV drama series, for example. I think one of them is going to start in one this fall. And their album that came out on June 11th achieved 619,000 copies in sales in just the first week on the Oricon chart. And that was also the most ever for the group itself that's been around for more than 13, 14 years. So they are really, really getting everyone's attention. And today in the StationHead. So for those that don't know, I also do a StationHead episode. It's an app where I can do this, but also actually play music without worrying about copyrights. And the song that I featured today is called Rock This Party. So this was one of the songs that they had to sing, or the people in the audition had to sing as part of the process in the final round. And the original members, the three, Kikuchi, Sato, and Matsushima, they joined the auditionees as well when they performed it together. And they actually also wrote the lyrics to this song. And it's a very upbeat, summery song. And, if you watch the video, I think it fits perfectly. It's at the beach, you have the sun, you're just enjoying your time and just hanging out and just having fun as comrades and friends. And so you really do feel that happy vibe from this song. And the lyrics that they wrote was actually also about, what it's like to achieving your dreams together. Obviously with your friends and with the people that you're doing this group with, and while still being true to who you are. So it's a very happy, motivating song. And so yeah, so just listening to it again, and I remember listening to it back then, and I haven't really sat down and listened to the final version with the group. Um, but it's something that it's really what's really great about these auditions is you see them go through the show. They sometimes struggle. They may not necessarily sing every note perfectly, or there's just learning how to dance. Like one of the members, he actually um, has not performed before, and it was in his last year in college that he thought, okay, if it's not now, then never. So he decided to submit an application to be a part of the show, and he made it in the end. And he submitted application on the very last day of the audition. So in some ways, like you never know. Like if you think about pursuing your dreams, like what does it mean to not sometimes let yourself get in your own way? And because I imagine how like it's so hard when you're comparing yourself with people that seemingly may have more talent or that they've done it for a long time. But what does it mean to truly be you and still show up and try? That's very admiring um, as well. And this person I'm talking about is his name is Shinozuka Taiki. So for those that want to check out the group, he's the one that's really gone popular as well. Because he went from a complete novice to now, being a part of this group that's performing at the dome level stage kind of venue. So yeah, it's really exciting to see the group coming together and gaining popularity. So that is Timeless, and their next single is called "Steal the Show." It was a double A-side single. So "Steal the Show" is one of the songs, and the other is called "Recipe," and it's coming out on November 12th. I don't know if they will stream it, but definitely you'll find them on YouTube. So definitely keep an eye out, and also just check out Timeless audition as well. There are a lot of great performances from that show, and some of the other members, including Noah, have gone on to pursue their own careers, and they are getting out there and they're getting more popular. So that's another amazing thing about these shows is that you can get on a show and people will find out about you. So yeah, so it's like a really great opportunity. But there are other groups though that I definitely want to highlight. The first one today, besides Timeless, is called JO1. A lot of people may have heard about JO1 by this point. They came from another show called Produce 101 Japan, which is originally a format from Korea. And basically, you go through these, you have 100 members, I think, or 100 people auditioning on the show. And each week they perform, they do all these things, and they show behind the scene clips, just try to get people's attention. And the audience vote on their favorite members um, every so and so weeks. And as you can imagine, the top 80 or something will at first will stay, and then or maybe it's top 60, and then they shrink their remaining members little by little until you get to the final 11, which became the group JO1. So this show ran in 2019, and they debuted with a single called Mugendai or Infinity in 2020. And it was also right around COVID, so they were riding off the popularity show, but they really ran right into the unknown of what is the pandemic, what is going to happen when you can't really perform live in front of audience when a lot of fans were waiting to meet them, but they couldn't do that, so they did try their own different ways of doing it, but they were able to sustain and also build on that popularity despite all that. And so their slogan is about becoming one and aiming for the top of the world, which they have really been doing. They've won many awards, including the best songs for the biggest award show in Japan 2 years in a row. They've toured the world. They've gone on the US tour this year, I believe, including the US. And they have performed their first dome tour this year as well. So everyone talks about them, and also these members. I think it's just um, it's a very common thing for a lot of the members of these groups to also pursue things outside of music, um, like being in the movie or drama, like acting. And one of the members called Mamehara Issei, he was actually number one as part of the audition show. And so he's been featured constantly in the group. And he has been acting a lot as well. And he has a movie coming out this year in Japan on October 24th called Fuji San to, Kohi to,しあわせの数式. So, roughly translating to Mount Fuji and coffee and the math of happiness. It is a story about family. It's about a college age student living with his grandmother, and he plays that college student, and finding information about the grandfather that had passed away, and learning about the past of the grandmother, how she was constantly focusing on learning, and whereas at the same time, he is also wondering about his own future. Like, he doesn't know what he wants to do and he doesn't have the confidence, but they share this common love of, each other, and then finding and learning about his grandfather and building that bond together. And it's a story apparently about learning and the joy of that, and also what it means to really think about your family. And so it sounds like it's a very touching story. And so the song, so there is actually a song that's coming out that's going to be featured in the movie, that JO1 singing, and it's written by a singer-songwriter in Japan called Hata Motohiro. So he is also someone that's been very big. He has written hits like Himawari no Yakusoku, Ai, Uroko, just really strong, heartfelt ballads or medium tempo songs. And his voice is just very soothing to the ears as well. So when you listen to him, your heart will calm down. You can just be by yourself even, and still feel serenity. And so I personally love his songs as well. And so when you know that he wrote this song, this is gonna be good and it's gonna be heartfelt, and it is, and it's really connected with the story. And it's also about how, kind of like the characters in the movie, how no matter what generation you are, no matter what gender you are, or whoever you are, we think about what you want to do and what you should do, but sometimes not having the answers. What does it mean to really continue to move forward? Sometimes struggling, but still going after what you want, is what this song is about. And in the chorus, what I really love, looking at it again, is that it talks about the future and of all of us as kind of like flowers without names yet. And so they are like these tiny flowers that are, they're not blooming yet, but they are in the process of, and despite the seasons, they will blossom through all of them. And it's about making this promise to, or a vow to the sky, that when the flower of my most beloved color blooms, I'll come to see you, and see that tender smile of yours once more. And the title itself of the song is called Hiraku, which can mean it can be a play of different things. And in this context, it may sound like, okay, so yeah, it is about the flower that's opening up or that's blooming. But it's also about the future that you're opening that you're trying to achieve. So it's definitely a play on words, and I think it's just something really heartfelt, and you can really imagine what the movie is about, but also just imagining all the members of this group singing and thinking about their future. So these songs are not necessarily constantly the lead singles of these boy groups, but I think they're easily missed. So I definitely recommend checking this out. And this song will also be featured in their next single that's coming out, their 10th single called Hands in My Pocket, and hands with the last letter as Z, will be out on October 22nd. And so this song, Hiraku, has been out actually since August 18. And the movie will be out on October 24th. So 2 days after single. So it's like a lot of promotion that's going to go around here. So JO1 from now to October, I definitely anticipate a lot of different songs coming out, different release, different promotion, TV appearances, clips on YouTube. So definitely check them out if you haven't already, as well as all the other songs they've done in the past 5 years. And they did just come out with the best album or the greatest hits album. So lots to look forward to. And then the last group that I want to feature and talk about today is INI. So INI is actually the same, well, they come from the same agency as JO1, and they also went through, in a way, the same audition show. So JO1 is produced 101 Japan, INI is produced 101 Japan Season 2. And to be honest, I knew of JO1 after they formed, and I got really interested into them. But I actually watched from the beginning. I watched all the members or all the people in this on the show, and actually probably voting. Yes, I voted as well for members, and hope that whoever I was rooting for would get into group. And obviously, it's hard to just pick one in those moments. But some people that I really rooted for actually got in the group, so that was really fun to watch. And they are also getting popular in their own right, and all of them are talented in different ways and different skills. And what I has been experimenting as well is that some of the group members will do cover songs or different performances on YouTube. And two of the members who are part of the main vocals, Ozaki Takumi and Fujimaki Kyosuke, they have come together to write songs together as well. And this song that I feature today on StationHead is called Propose. And it came out along with another song called Unrequited Love on August 4th. And that song was composed by a really famous person from HY, another group about really heartfelt ballads, and really a lot of famous songs as well. And this one, Propose, is kind of like a medium tempo love song. And they wrote the lyrics to this song. So what this song is about, it's about building a future with whoever you love, and really sharing that emotion and and what you think about to that loved one that you have, and celebrating this special moment together. And it is just a pure um, song of promise that you'll love them no matter what. And I remember I read a part about how Fujimaki Kyosuke said that he really wanted, or they really wanted this song to be about, telling that love to, whoever's important to you in your life. And sometimes it's really, it's not as easy because you're kind of, um, not embarrassed, but it's hard to sometimes be vulnerable and just really say, "Hey, I really care about you." And it's a little bit more, I think, culture-wise in Asia, that's a little bit harder to be that direct. Hence, that's why you have all these beautiful songs that you can really share that emotion. But yeah, so this song is about really sharing that, and they hope that this will be a song of kind of like encouragement and a little bit push that, hey, you can go and really tell them how you feel. So I really like this song as well. It's a very standard J-pop heartfelt song in the sense that the lyrics are very simple. They talk about how do we like continuing to support each other, overcoming all obstacles, and we can see the shining future tomorrow. And every moment that we have is treasure, and this is fate, that we can call, and this road that we make together and we'll continue to walk on. So it sounds, some may say it sounds cheesy in English, but I really, really like just simple messages that we see a lot in Japanese songs. Because sometimes I feel like that's just like the root of it all. Like that's what we want to say. Sometimes there is wordplay, but is it always about just what sounds cool? And I personally like a story with a message or a song that can really make my heart move. And so I think this is just a really nice song to listen to. So yeah, so they recorded the song together, the two of them, and they released them and on streaming on August 4th. So I definitely recommend checking out this one, but also the other Unrequited Love as well. And INI as a group, they also have their own distinct taste. Sometimes I feel like they're a little bit edgier than JO1. Um, and I think they all bring their own color to the music that they do. So this, I think in J-pop right now, these two groups are really big. At the same time, if we talk about boy bands and different groups, like I feel like more than ever, there's a new audition show or there is a new group popping out every year. And I know the same is like that in K-pop, but there's just so many right now. So sometimes it's kind of interesting to really see, okay, what is the difference? How are they more unique than the other? So that could be something fun to watch out for. But for me today, or this week at least, definitely Timeless, JO1, INI are the three that are coming to my mind right now as well. So if you haven't already, definitely check me out on StationHead. So you can go to StationHead, the service, search for J-Pop Kissa. You'll find that recording, or I've actually left that link in the description, as well as links to the songs as well. So definitely find them on YouTube and also on whatever streaming service that you use. And I will try to highlight the ones more that you can find on streaming service, because sometimes they're not all on the ones that we typically use, like Apple Music and Spotify. And if not, I would definitely highlight that as a separate clip as well. So thank you so much for your time today. I'll be back soon with more to share. Until then, take care and enjoy your next cup of J-pop entertainment.